Here we are, everybody. Make sure you have paper and pencil out ready to write down everything that I write down, right? As we are going to prepare for this quiz. This is a quiz preview, right? And this quiz preview is called Factoring Quiz Preview, right? So we're going to cover the factoring unit. After this quiz preview, you're going to be able to take that quiz, okay? So we are going to factor the common factor of each expression for the first two problems here. Okay, so let us start with, we're going to see first the coefficients, right? The coefficients are 10, 100, 80, and 70. So what number goes into 10, 100, 80, and 70 is the question, right? So we go back over here. So we have 10, 100. So 100 is what I'm going to look at first. I got 100 right here. Okay. 10. Okay. 10 also goes here, right? So this is the tens. 80. Okay. I got 80 and 70. Perfect. So 10. 10 is what goes into all the terms. So I'm going to divide everything by 10. Right? Now I'm going to check the variables. X, 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 X. Good. The most I can take out of all of them is x to the power of 1. I can't take out x to the power of 5 because, look, there's not enough here. There's only 2 here. There's only 1 and there's only 1. So I'm going to take out x. Let's see y. Y to the power of 2. There's no y here. Automatically, I stop there. I can't take out y. All right? So let's start to divide. Well, 10 divided by 10 is 1, right? X cancels with x, and y comes down. Plus 100 divided by 10 is 10. X cancels with x, and y squared comes down. Minus 80 divided by 10 is 8. Okay, x squared and x to the first. This has an invisible 1 here. So 2 minus 1 is 1, so I'm left with just x. 70 divided by 10 is 7. X to the fifth and x to the first. 5 minus 1 is 4, so x to the fourth. And y to the third, because I didn't take out any y's. So I put a parentheses around that. And then whatever I divided by was my common factor. I put in front of the parentheses, outside the parentheses. Right? So I get 10x. And that, kiddos, is our solution for number 1. Look at that. All right? We factored out the common factor, which in this case was 10x. Good job. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let's move on to the next one. Let's go with red this time, right? So again, big division line. So I'm going to look for 16, 72, 80, and 56. So I'm going to go for the bigger one first, 80. So let's see. 80, I got 80 here, okay. 72, okay. No 72, so I know it's not in the tens place. So let me look for another 80 right there, okay. 80, 72, okay, that works. 56 and 16. Let's see. 56, 16, perfect. 8 works. So 8 is the largest common factor there. Let's see the x's. X squared, x to the first, x. Oh, nope, there's no x there. I can't factor out x. Let's see y's. Y squared, y, no y. So the only thing I can factor out, everybody here, is 8. So let's divide everything by 8. 16 divided by 8 is 2. And x squared, y squared comes down because I'm not factoring out any x's and y's. Plus 72 divided by 8 is 9 xy, because again, I'm not factoring out any x's or y's. 10 divided by 8, 80 divided by 8 is 10. I got ahead of myself. X plus 56 divided by 8 is 7. And then again, a parentheses around that. And my common factor, what did I divide by? 8 goes outside the parentheses. just like that. And look at that. That is my expression factored out. There you go. Look at that. That's number 1 and 2. Perfect, perfect. We're getting ready for that quiz, everybody. You guys are doing great. Okay. This instruction says factor each completely. So here I have a trinomial. And I have a quadratic because 2 is my largest exponent. Power of 2 is my largest exponent. So when I have that, I do the X method, right? X method. The last number in the sentence goes on top, negative 45. The last number in the expression. The middle number, the middle coefficient of the expression goes on the bottom. So I need to think of 2 numbers, everyone, that multiply to give me 45. So let's take a look. So let's look for 45 right here. Let's see. 45. 15 and 3. All right, let's take a look here. So 15 and 3. Well, I know I need to subtract. 15 minus 3, is it 4? No. 15 minus 3 is 12. 15 and 3 don't work. Let's look for another 45. Right here, 45. 9 and 5. Let's take a look. 9 and 5. 9 minus 5 is 4. Perfect. 9 and 5 work out. 9 and 5. Now I need to figure out which one's going to be negative because I got a negative here. So I need to figure out which one of these 2 is going to be negative. And since 4 is a negative and 4 is bigger, then I know 9 is going to be negative. And 5 is going to be positive. So when I factor out now, I do double parentheses like that. And I split my x's. X squared means x and x, right? I gave x squared means I gave each one an x. And then negative 9 goes there. 5 goes there. Negative 9 plus 5. And look at that. Perfect, kiddos. Perfect, perfect division. Factoring, excuse me. Perfect, perfect, perfect factoring. All right, let's go on to the next problem here. So, again, this is a trinomial, 1, 2, 3. And it's a quadratic because 2 is my biggest exponent. So, we're going to do the X method here. Now, this X method is a little different. In this first one, there was no number here. So, we just brought down negative 45 here on top. Now with number 4, look, there's a 6 here, so this 6 multiplies with this 15. This 6 here multiplies with this 15. 6 times 15 is 90, kiddos. Positive 90. Now the bottom is the same, though. The middle coefficient is negative 19, so that goes on the bottom just like this. So, 2 numbers, everybody, that multiply to give me 90. So let's look over here at 90. Let's look for 90 right here. 18 and 5. So let's take a look. 18 and 5. I know I'm going to add because this is plus. 18 plus 5 is not 19. Nope. 18 and 5 is not going to work. 90, 15, and 6. All right, let's take a look. 15 and 6 is 90. 15 plus 6 is 21. It's not 19. That's not going to work either. Okay, so let's look for another 90. Oh, there's one right here. Look. Here, they're both it. 10 and 9. Okay, let's try 10 and 9. 10 and 9. 10 plus 9. I know I'm adding because here is 19. Perfect. 10 and 9 work. 10, 9. Now, since it's positive, then they need to be both the same sign. And since the bottom is 19, so it's negative and negative, right? They got to be the same sign because a negative times a negative is a positive. All right? So, just like we did on number 5, let us do double parentheses. Boom, boom, like that. I got b squared, so that means that each parenthesis is going to get a b. And this negative 10 is going to go right there. This negative 9 is going to go right there. negative 10, and negative 9. Now, because we had this coefficient right here in front, I got to take that coefficient and I got to divide both of my numbers here by 6. Divide by 6, divide by 6. Right? In this first problem, there was no number here. Technically, there's an invisible 1. So I can divide both of these by invisible 1, but it doesn't change things, right? But in this case, there's a 6, so I got to divide. But I noticed that I can reduce both of these. I can divide both of these by 2. By 2, just like that. Look at that. And that gives me b minus 10 divided by 2 is 5. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Look at that. Okay? I also can divide both of these by 3. Right? By 3. So that's going to give me b minus 9 divided by 3 is 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Okay? So I have this. I have this. Now, I don't want any fractions, though. We don't want fractions. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this bottom number, and we're going to put it in front, both of them in front of our b's, just like that. So that is going to equal to parentheses. So I'm going to move this 3 to the front. So it's going to be 3b minus 5. And I'm going to move this 2 to the front, and it's going to be 2b minus 3. 2b minus 3, and boom. Look at that. We got it. There you go. That's number 4. Right? You're definitely going to see a problem like that in the quiz. All right, perfect. We're going along well, everybody. Everybody's paying attention. You guys are all taking notes. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. 2 more problems here. Right? This is the one that has 4 terms. So this is the one that we're going to factor by grouping. And remember, we group every 2 terms. So let us group every 2 terms here. So I'm going to group 5AH plus 25AF plus 3x squared h plus 15x squared f. Look at that. I factored. Now only these 2 I'm going to divide, and only these 2 I'm going to divide. Divide, divide. I do what I did in the first step, where I find what number goes into both. So 5 and 25, I know 5 goes into both. And they both have an A. That looks like a 9. Both have an A. Right? So 5 divided by 5 is 1. Okay? This A crosses out with that A, so I just bring down H. Look at that. 25 divided by 5 is 5. This A crosses out with that A, so I just bring down F. Look at that. And I put my 5A in front, just like that. Perfect. Now with these 2, I'm going to divide by 3. 3 goes into 15 and H. And they both have an x squared. Look at that, both terms. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, right? So I'm left with 1. So I'm going to put a plus parentheses 1, and I bring down my H. 15 divided by 3 is 5. My x squares cancel each other out, right? And I bring down F. And I bring down 3x squared in front. Now, if you notice, look at that. That and that is the same. I can bring them and just make it 1. 1h plus 5f. So when I cross those out, because I wrote them as 1, the other 2 terms, I'm going to write it in a parentheses together. 5a plus 3x squared, and there you have it. Look at that. There you have it. Good job. Make sure you're writing everything down, right? This is factoring by grouping. Okay? One more, kiddos. Let's do this. Let's knock this out. Right? Let's go with brown. So with this one, I can group that and that, this and this and that and that, but there's no number that goes into 10 and 9, and also they have no common letters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to regroup. I'm going to put this dude together with this one, because 10 and 6, I know 2 can go into it, and I have V and V, right? So I'm going to write 10UV plus 6XV, and I'm going to put a parentheses, plus, so the other two, I'm going to put them together, 9X plus 15U. Okay? So these first two terms I could divide by 2. 2 goes into 10 and 6, and they both have V. 10 divided by 2 is 5, right? V cancels with V, so I bring down U. Plus 6 divided by 2 is 3. V cancels with V, so I bring down X. And in front, I write down 2V. Look at that. Okay? Now, between these two, I can divide by 3. 3 goes into 9. And 9 and 15. Sorry, lost my train of thought there. Okay, so I know 3 is going to go on the outside. 9 divided by 3 is 3. I bring down my X. 15 divided by 3 is 5. I bring down my U. Okay, now let's take a look at these two. So even though they're not exactly the same, kiddos, they are the same. 3X plus 5U, 3X plus 5U. Look at that. They're written in a different order, but they're the same. So I can say 5U plus 3X. They're the exact same thing. And what's left over without a parentheses is 2V plus 3. And there you have this expression factored. And that right there, kiddos, is our quiz preview. Make sure you copy all of this down, because this is your assignment as well, right? So you have all this copied down. You're going to take a picture and you're going to submit it. All right? So you're going to do great on the quiz. Good luck. Thank you for being here. See you next time.